Ladies and germs, it's Monday night. That means one thing and one thing only. It's the Cold Hard Art Cup Series from 3 Wide Racing coming at you live with the Mark Zielinski Benefit 200 from Daytona International Speedway, Circa 2007. All the bumps, all the humps, all the lumps. Tonight in the booth, Trey Landry, Thomas Morris, Matt Kingston. They're going to bring you all the action live with their voices. Gentlemen, voice it up.
I think you hit the nail on the head there, the bumps and the humps. We've already seen in practice, Trey and Matt, that this is going to be quite a different Daytona than a lot of people are used to here on the iRacing service.
For sure, yeah. It's going to be hard to hold your line. You're going to be bouncing up and getting shook up the track just a little bit. Might be a little bit of door bumping going on through the corners, but I think it's going to make for an exciting race and good 80 laps tonight. Hopefully we get a lot green.
Well, I can tell you some things that haven't changed. Motherfuckers burning down tires on pit road to get that pole position. Number 17, I hope you wreck.
Oh, boy. Kicking off the night good, Trey. So, as someone has already, I guess, tried to steal the pole then, Trey, we'll move into who's going to steal the show tonight then. I honestly believe this one, unlike last night where we saw some guys play the strategy of trying to ride it out and miss it, Matt, I don't know if you can get far enough back to miss that tonight.
No, it's going to be very interesting. I really don't know how you'd play this, and it's a lot tighter track than we had last night. We were at Talladega, so it's going to be the wrecks when they happen. You're going to be pretty well in it, unless you're almost getting a lap down. It's going to be hard to avoid all of them that happen, I think.
Well, it's tighter, and then in general, compared to Talladega, like you said, it's tighter, but then you add in how rough the track is, it just makes it that much worse, where you might lose it off the corner, either like the front or the rear. I'm assuming probably going to be a little tight with these setups here, but if you lose the nose, you just, you can't really lift enough to make sure you don't push into the guy on the outside or knock the wall down, so that could be your trouble spot at a 2. I'm going to make the gamble there and say that's going to be the trouble spot.
I tell you what, I'm looking forward to a good race. We broadcasted the Nathan Young Designs cars last night at Talladega, and it was the guys put on quite a show, and I expect nothing but the same here. A lot of the same guys in the race tonight. A lot of good racing by Eric Mickey, who won the race last night. Luis Salmaso, who I think is going to be good. Jordan Teal, I think you got to watch out for him. He ended up last night with a decent finish. He's got those rookie stripes on, so I think it's anybody's race tonight.
One thing too, Trey, another reason why I'm up here, we said it's kind of hard to pass with this new plate package on iRacing. Not the case for a lot of those guys. We saw multiple people come from deep in the field to regain a top 5 finish. I think Kyle Henshaw was on pit lane with a car across his nose at one point and still came back to finish 3rd. So still have a little bit of the falling back and driving through the field aspects, but that's going to be just that much more difficult tonight.
Yeah, I think, what was it, Peter Short spent, 75% of the race riding around that backpack and ended up finishing in
the back of the pack.
Yeah, he finished in the back of the pack, but he was up at the front towards the end, just got caught up in somebody else's mess. But so I don't know, is that the strategy to go with, Thomas, or not? I mean, he played a good race, 75%, but the last 25% got him. So
I know from past experience, as we're going to take a look at the points here in just a couple of seconds, as soon as I finish this thought, producer Wendell, the guy up front normally, from what I've seen in previous races, if you can just stay up front, the lead guy, maybe 2nd place, your night seems to go a whole lot smoother than trying to ride around and make sure you don't lose too much in the draft and then work with your teammates and have to, if it goes green all the way, scramble to try and get back to the front. If you just stay up front, which is easier said than done, your night just goes a lot smoother.
Yeah, we kind of questioned that last night because I think the caution kind of saved Peter Short and those guys because they were way behind, and that caution came out early and let them catch back up. And you notice, Thomas, they never got that far back again.
No. Speaking of up front, as you see in the points, Peter Short's still top of the board there with 3 wins on the season. Still got the guys in the field. Cameron Rich, Sam Close could equal him tonight if they could steal a win here at Daytona. But Matt, that points battle, 0 points right now, tied between Race Clark and Mike Stevens for the last spot in the show.
Yeah, that's incredible considering how long we've been racing in the Cold Hard Art Cup Series to be tied for the last spot. But we have 5 races left. This is going to be the 5th to last race, and this could be the one that makes or breaks the playoffs for Mike Stevens and Race Clark, because this is the wild card. Really, anybody can win this. Say Cody Wright or anybody that's deep in the points could come back up and steal a win here. That'd put Race Clark right out of the playoffs, and he'd have to catch up to 11th place Brent Miller. Or Race Clark or Mike Stevens could wreck, and then they'd lose a whole pile of points, and
just like last week.
Yeah, could both be out of the show and out of contention to get into the playoffs. So it's gonna be exciting to watch for sure.
Yeah, there's plenty of names in this field that can win and steal that chase spot that aren't even mentioned in this graphic. I mean, Chad Brown, like you said, Cody Wright, Rusty Webb, all those guys are, can play a pivotal role in moving people around in this playoff system.
Yeah, so I mean, but look at sitting there in 14th place, our Daytona 500 winner, Brooks Westphal. He's only 15 points back, guys. What if he pulls the Daytona sweep and takes that spot? He could bump both Race Clark and Mike Stevens tonight.
Well, if he wins this one like he won the first one in that dramatic fashion, I think you could call him Mr. Daytona, because I don't think we're going to top that Daytona 500 finish.
Yeah, without a doubt. But I agree with you guys, man. It's definitely a toss-up. Pick a name, throw a dart. Maybe you'll get lucky and pick the winner. But it should be exciting. And, as somebody that's outside looking in, you got to have this track circled on your calendar thinking, this is my shot to make it to the playoffs. So I think we're going to see a lot of aggressive driving to try to get that spot.
And while we're on the subject of this race actually, every green flag lap that's completed 3-wide racing league is going to be donating $1, I believe, guys, to the GoFundMe page, which we'll try to get posted here in the chat for you guys. It's for, Mark Zielinski is currently battling cancer, so I'll post that there if anyone wants to go drop a couple dollars off. That'd be helpful. And 3-wide is going to be doing 1 per green flag lap tonight, so good away all the way around.
And I think
we want 80 green flag laps, right?
We do, yes.
So I think our lovely producer, who has freshly waxed legs, has put that link up there in the chat.
Let's hope we didn't go back and listen to that last night.
I know, right? It's like, what are you guys talking about?
Well, that's what happens when we fill time at the end of these things. But boys, it's Daytona. I mean, is there any more we need to say? That you could be leading this thing, well, I won't say coming to the pit entrance here, but coming out of 4 and not even finishing the top 10 if you're not careful.
Yeah, this is just such a wild card race, Thomas. You can't make a strategy for this place, especially with having the old version of it with the bumps and hills, as you guys mentioned. It's going to be hard to have a strategy that you can hold to. And it's hard to do that even on a play track in general, let alone this one. This is just outlandish to try to get anything organized
outlandish
to get for the end of the race.
Well, what do you say we get them started early on the grid here, as we've got a humdinger of a field here tonight. Rolling off P1 for Isentech Empire here with the same exact lap time as the guy starting on the outside, Luis Salmoso. So I guess he got the nod from iRacing on that one, but Cameron Rich going to be your pole sitter with Mr. Salmosa going to run on the outside pole.
Starting your 3rd position. He's already got to win this season, so this if he could win this one, it'd be icing on the cake. The 7 of Jess Story is outside the 2 of Carlos Acosta in P4.
And starting P5th, our points leader, the driver of that number 33, Peter Short. Starting 6th, nice qualifying effort for that number 38 machine, Cody Wright.
Rolling off P7, we have Drew Eisman into his outside, Race Clark, looking to score some good points here tonight, boys.
And Race definitely wants that, or needs that to keep himself, keep him in the chase picture. Rolling off P9, the guy with the golden horseshoe up some crevice of his body. See on these plate tracks, the 6 of Eric Mickey. And running at your top 10, the guy who also has a couple wins in hand, so he's safe, the 5 of Sam Close.
And started P11th, our Daytona 500 winner, Brooks Westphal. To his outside, newcomer, had a solid run last night at Talladega, Jordan Teal starting 12th.
Rolling off P13, got a little cushion over that bubble in the playoff system, but Corey Lindsey looking to see if he can steal a win here tonight to take that pressure off. Gonna roll off P13 into his outside, the rookie, the guy that finished P3 last night after we wrote him off, Matt, Kyle Henshaw.
Can't write anybody off this tonight. Starting P15, we have the 88 of Rusty Webb running for 3OG Racing, and to his outside, his teammate, the 18 of Paul Ross, starting P16.
And the last two drivers to take time, Jeffrey Acree, who starts 17th, and JD Cooper will start 18th. We got Chuck Sweeney 19th, Levi Zielinski 20th, Johnny Thomas, I'm surprised he didn't take a time, starting 21st, Brent Miller 22nd, Nathan Velez 23rd, Matt Hackathorn 25th, Richard Hines 25th, Chad Brown 26th, Nathan Young 27th, Mike Stevens, who we documented, is in that battle with Race Clark. He's starting 28th tonight. Danny D. Almeida starting 29th. Wade Lear starting 30th. Nick Miller starting 31st. And Steve Ketterman will be starting shotgun on the field tonight. Man, I just about ran out of breath.
And so you took that one for the team there. And just to let you know, Cameron Rich is going to give himself an EOL for that dirty tag.
Thank you.
So Trey the policeman.
Yeah.
We won't use our German term we had for him earlier, but you know.
Cameron Rich does also come in the chat. And he says, "Y'all are right. I'm going to EOL myself. Not right to be dirty like that." Well, at least you self-policed yourself there, Cameron. That's some good stuff.
Yep, I'll give him credit for what you said, self-policing himself. So, good job, Cameron Rich.
So, unlike NASCAR, the inside line just doesn't move up. So the 4 is actually going to be on the inside as the poles that are in here. Interesting. All right, well, pace car is going to make that hard left turn, and we're about to get her crug up here at Daytona.
Nice clean start there for these guys up front. Both lanes rolling pretty nice. And already saw some position. We had a little easy drive in there to make sure we had lots of space in between some cars.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to be pretty clean and calm here at the start there, Matt.
I would hope so, because otherwise you're going to get bounced right up and you might take a few people with you.
Seeing a lot of guys in the mid pack of the field, they're kind of pulling down out of the way.
Yeah, 48. Nathan Velez just dropped back.
Now that was almost a disaster there for Cameron Rich. Trey, he oiled himself. I believe he got black flag because he couldn't get back in position soon enough, and then the admin actually fell out with connection problems. So that was almost a disaster.
Yeah, I saw that. Thankfully, Corey Lindsey was paying attention, and he got that cleared for him.
You would almost say that's instant karma in there.
Yeah, I was gonna say props to Corey Lindsey. He's right now in the car and he's clicking buttons like you and Trey used to do, Thomas.
Yeah, that's not fun. That's kind of like you said, Matt. Starting to see those packs form here. We got the front guys, and then we're single filing out the back half of the field.
Guy I'm watching here, he needs a win to get into the playoffs. From my numbers, 32 Jeffrey Acree. Let's see if he can snag one here tonight on Old Daytona.
Yeah, that's going to be something you can tip your hat to as well. You can say, a lot of people get to win. Most leagues run the new Daytona. Not many take the step or the leap to come back to the old Daytona and run. And I think it's actually probably going to provide a better overall package for us tonight in these Cup cars.
I'm hoping this thing goes green for a while because I'd like to see how these tires react to this old surface and see if little handling comes into play with these fixed setups.
Let's just be glad the Paperboy's not here tonight. So.
Right.
The last time I did run Old Daytona, the tires were affected quite heavily. Come about lap 20, you're starting to slip slide around, which is further problem because you're already getting shook up and down the track about 6 times going through the corners. So now you have to deal with a little bit of sliding going in there to the corners.
Now, was that B race you won where the whole field wrecked?
I believe so, yes.
And clearly you didn't start that wreck?
No.
Never.
No, I didn't. I might have hooked the leader. by accident.
Got the two RK Motorsports Chevrolets up there, the 1 and 2, trying to work together. If you felt bump drafting this hard last night, I don't think it's advisable to push too hard in the corners here.
But the problem with that, Thomas, is come the end of this race, you're going to want that guy to be pushing you no matter how edgy it is. You need to live life dangerously if you want to win this charity race for Mark Zielinski.
Yeah, but you have to get there first, man.
Yes, and unless Tony Stewart's idea comes into effect where we just stop the race halfway, turn everybody and make them come backwards, we should have a decent amount of cars come the end of her.
You would think so, as we definitely have two distinct packs now. Get these front guys, it looks like all the way back to about, what's that, 16th? Have all kind of separated themselves. It's like Eric, Mickey, and then Matt Hackathorn leading this second little group here with Nathan Velez on his outside.
Business is starting to pick up here in the main pack. J.D. Cooper, Jeffrey Cree, Sam Close just jumped up there in front of Paul Ross in that 18. They're trying to make a little break for the front here and see if they can't get themselves in maybe a top 5 position.
Little 3OG train coming here maybe as Peter Short takes a peek outside there and going to pull back in.
What y'all going to see here, they're not really pinching all that much, especially through the corners in the tri-oval, because as we mentioned, those bumps will just kind of shoot you up another lane, not even intentionally.
Yeah, the top side's starting to roll a little bit there, Matt. Got Sam Close pulling the train along here.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good gap, though, back to those other two, Jeffrey Cree and J.D. Cooper. I do believe you'd want them to be pretty close to you, just keep the air and push coming, but still need to gain a little bit of time on them as they're side-by-side. Might have a change for the lead here coming off of turn 4.
A little damage on that rear bumper of the 5 car. Not going to hurt him, I don't believe. Might help him just a touch.
It's going to be close here onto the line. Sam never got that one. Just lost his little push there from his buddy Paul Ross.
Oh, don't worry. Still plenty more chances to get that one.
Cody Wright back there. We mentioned him a couple times, I believe, tonight. He's running pretty smooth right now, just kind of sitting back and watching these guys go side by side, running in the 9th position. So maybe just waiting there, Thomas and Trey. See what happens here.
Speaking of waiting, how about Johnny Thomas, Richard Hines, Nathan Young, all bringing up, even Chuck Sweeting, all bringing up caboose of the field here.
You know what surprised me, Thomas and Matt? Chuck Sweeting said this is his first time to ever run a race here on this Daytona configuration. I'm
assuming he came in at that breakover point where iRacing pushed it all over to the new stuff, because they ran a lot of events on this until, what was it, 2011, 2012 when they brought it in on iRacing. So,
yeah,
I mean, it was
2011.
Pretty popular. It's Daytona, you know.
My first Daytona 500, actually, that I ran in for whatever reason, was done on the old surface, which was terrible.
Well, Sam Close got the lead. Unfortunately, he's going to lose it about as quick as he got it, because here comes Paul Ross on the outside. A little help from Jeffrey Cree there.
Yeah, I wouldn't count those two cars out. Paul Ross, Jeffrey Cree, they showed a lot of savvy last night on Talladega, so they could definitely be a factor tonight.
One thing I noticed too, Trey, we saw the 33 in the Nathan Young Designs B-Car Series last night at Talladega. Stay in the back. He's right up there right now in the top 5. Maybe he decided to change his strategy around a little bit, seeing as he got caught up in the wreck after he made his way back up to the front of the field.
Well, you know, he qualified decent, so maybe that changed his mind. Decided he was going to stay up there instead of fall to the back. I just believe it's so hard to get those good runs and make a pass, especially the longer we go into this run, that if you can keep up there with that track position, you might as well just stay up there. I think guys were thinking this is going to get a lot more aggressive early on, and it's not really following through. They're kind of just riding around, letting it sort out.
Well, guys, right now we're working lap 10. All in the green flags. That's $10 for that GoFundMe page, which we'll post periodically through the chat if anybody wants to head on over there and drop a couple dollars for.
Don't drop them. Place them in the right spot.
Yes, make sure you place them in the right spot.
Looking through, still, actually, I was wrong. The guy bringing up full caboose on the field right now is Nick Miller. So maybe trying to play it ultra conservative here tonight. And I recall him back at Daytona. I believe he was leading coming to the checkered flag and kind of got turned. So maybe he's trying to make sure he can keep his car and maybe put it in that same position tonight, but still a little bit further up the road, not getting spun. Oh, that's already they're way off the lead already, though. Man.
Yeah, I don't like to fall back that far if I'm doing that strategy. I like to have the leaders in my sight at least, where I could at least try to give a push to get up there.
It's like all the Johnny Thomas racing guys have kind of hooked together here with Wade Lear and Kyle Henshaw, Johnny Thomas. So that's that Steve back there. He has Steve's with him too. Richard Hines also working with him.
See,
Yeah.
the problem with that backpack is the top 16 are all single file running the bottom of the track.
That's your biggest fear, Trey. You know,
Yeah,
you've seen it yourself. Oh, they'll wreck and then they get sorted out. So then you've given up 16 seconds and you're not going to run that much quicker than this front pack if they're single file.
I mean, you're talking about Nick Miller. He's shotgun on the field with that backpack, and he's, we're 12 laps into it. He's already almost 17 and a half seconds behind this lead pack here. So
And he's
those
losing
guys
the
are in
pack.
trouble. Yeah, he's losing it.
46.6 from Cameron Rich last lap. The leader was a 45.9. So yeah, not going the way they want.
And like you guys said, that strategy all depends on having a caution. And it is possible, guys, we can go 80 green flag laps here. Even though it's the old Daytona service, these guys are racing with a lot of respect for each other, not pinching. So they might be waiting a while for their first yellow.
I mean, if they wreck, you look like a genius. If they don't, then it's just kind of one of those things. Things just kind of, like I said, Matt, this kind of normal plate stuff here, kind of cycling out. Seeing some guys push a little wide on corner exit, though. Maybe Trey, those tires are starting to give up a little bit.
Yeah, probably so. This old configuration will wear out those tires, so handling will come into play here.
I know they changed the draft model from a couple seasons ago, but even on the new Daytona, we actually had to lift, which was insane. I mean, even coming off of turn 2, you had to hit your marks just right or you knocked the wall down, which was fun, but also just very odd for a plate track.
No, it's just kind of funny to look back on how many plate packages iRacing's had. And I'll tell you, when I first joined, I think it was in 2010 or 2011, they had the worst plate package I've ever seen. It was just utterly terrible. You couldn't pass up high. It didn't matter how many people you had to push. And I think this one is as close as we got to real life. Even better than real life, because you don't see these kind of close battles for the lead anymore.
No, not when Stenhouse is thinking up the show.
How did that happen?
It's called a good motor, and everyone else wrecked out twice.
And Kyle Busch sucking.
Yeah.
Well, like you guys were mentioning there, Chad Brown, Mike Stevens, Matt Hackathorn, and Daytona 500 winner Brooks Westphal. Sorry, they're trying to form up and try to catch these lead pack, but it's going to be an uphill battle, I think, boys. Quite a little piece back already.
Yeah, and they're not really turning anything faster than these front guys, so it's going to be hard to reel them in.
Yeah, it seems like they gain a tenth, then lose a tenth. So
all
kind of a
depends on
wash.
that push. You know, if you can keep that push going, which is not too easy apparently tonight, because these guys are not able to really hook onto each other. Of course, gone are the days of tandems, which breaks my heart because those were the most fun.
Yeah, those were exciting.
Especially when you and your producer are going to win a Talladega truck race and then get turned.
I don't
course,
think he's better.
My bigger issue on that was iRacing ran me out of gas. So. I'm not bitter about that. Oh, it's like the 89's falling back into the clutches of the Johnny Thomas Racing Brigade here.
Yeah, trying to find something side by side or anything on the track, really, but it's all single filed out, which is smart racing on these guys' part. You don't want to have to race too hard, especially on lap 17 of 80.
It's kind of one of those double-edged swords. You want to, you want to have fun in these races, but there's no point in getting crazy because you cannot get away from the field. So, as fun as it might be to run the high line and pinch the guy down for 40 laps, if there's a net code or any kind of problem like that, you've ended your race for nothing because you weren't going to get anything out of it other than maybe trying to lead a few laps.
Yeah, exactly. And as you alluded to in pre-race, Thomas, you don't want a DNF early because then you'll finish 32nd and be completely screwed in the championship hunt. So,
yeah, I mean, if you're Peter Short, Sam Close, Cameron Rich, any of those guys, Paul Ross, I mean, you can gamble and have fun, but you also don't want to, take yourself out early or ruin anybody else's night. See a little snaking going on there. I'm sure some guys are probably going to try to eke out and see if they can keep the car cool. Yeah, that's what the cool kids do, Matt.
yeah, I guess so. Not me, that's for sure. I'd want to get that temperature up there and blow up as fast as I can, and I have to go scratch the rest of the race.
So
And close, yeah. There with these guys, they're all offsetting kind of, and they're pushing, which is also dangerous because you can hook somebody quite easily.
Well, we saw it last night in the B cars. That left rear hook was terrible, but doesn't seem to be quite as bad in Cup Run.
No, luckily for these guys, because the guy in front of you could zig when you zag, and if you hit them on the left side bumper, you might go for a spin to the infield.
Well, too, Matt, sometimes it's not your fault. To lay off that guy, but the guy behind you can't see through you, so he gives you that extra shot, and it pushes you back into that guy and gets you all out of shape. So,
yeah, that's very true, Thomas.
or as Trey knows, you can get James duped. So.
Yes.
That's like
Dookie is real.
Yeah, it's like a tombstone pile driver, isn't it, Trey?
Yeah.
Should be getting close to thinking about some pit stops here, boys.
Yeah, I would say within the next 9 to 10 laps. Looks like Jess Story just jumped to the outside there, try to make a position. He's got somebody back there with him.
Like, they're pretty creepy, but he's going to say, nah, bro, I'm going back down here. You're good. I'll take that spot.
And guys, this is the time of the race where you want to try to make some friends so you can work with close to the end, because it's going to be hard to find who you actually want to draft with at the end of this race unless you're inherently lucky.
Matt, you keep saying that, but I'm going to bring you back. Well, I guess I am wrong, because I was going to say that didn't work out last night, but Corey Bunch and Eric Mickey, I guess, proved me wrong on that one, because they did work together all night long. The rest of the field didn't care. But
That was the kind of neat thing. That was one of the first times I've seen that in recent seasons, I guess, in other leagues and other places, that actually somebody's strategy actually worked out.
Looks like J.D. Cooper went to the outside, but he's going to lose a spot there at Race Clark.
This is the shell game here.
They'll be smart to stay in single file line once we get close to pit stops too. There's no sense in trying to battle for the lead while you're gonna think about trying to make pit stops.
No, definitely not, because then the guy on the outside wants in. You better let him go, otherwise he's gonna be quite angry with you.
Well, we saw in the first race of the season, we used to have the Eisentech pit problems. Remember, Trey? They didn't call out anything, and it caused massive wrecks coming to pit lanes. So
Sure did.
definitely make sure you got your radios working this week.
It's like I'm hearing on the radio, these guys might start to pit around lap 30.
Yeah, judging off numbers I have in the back of my head, that's about right. I'm sure the leader was still Paul Ross. He's probably burning more fuel than anybody else. So
We're finally 3 wide for the first time tonight. It's going to die soon, though. The 22 just gave way to the 88. They were coming down the backstretch 3 wide. I think it was unintentional 3 wide, however.
it's just kind of one of those when you look up and go, "Why are we 3 wide? I don't.
Yeah.
What's going on?
How did this happen?
What a ride, man! Why am I okay?" Next thing you know, you'll be flipped up into the stands, Larson style.
Ooh.
Puts us about 4 or 5 laps out from pit stops. So
I'm thinking the leader and Paul Ross and Sam Close are going to probably come in around lap 28, 29, because I know Paul Ross has got to be, there's no way leading out front he can make lap 30.
no, I've seen that in previous races I've done. If you make that guy stay out, he's at least 2 or 3 laps shorter than you, if not more.
Now,
You
these
gotta-
guys,
Sorry, Matt. Go ahead.
you can go ahead there. I'll come
Well, I
back.
was gonna say I mean, I know people think, "Oh, this won't stay green," but you've got to start playing that through your head now. Is this going to stay green, and how far can I stretch it to make sure I don't have to make an extra pit stop?
Yeah,
think
for
that's-
sure.
Gonna come into play though. Shouldn't, no.
But now, like, you're sitting back there, like Brent Miller, Nick Miller, Cameron Rich back there in the bottom of the barrel for positions. You got to start thinking about what you guys are going to do now, because if you all make a mistake in your pit stall straight, everybody back there is in danger of going a lap down.
Yeah, that's when it becomes a true team effort, because you're right. If a couple guys mess up and you get strung out, you've lost that entire advantage of running together, and you're going to take 5-10 laps to get back together, probably 5 laps, to get all back sorted and get back up to full speed. And if the front pack didn't have any problems, you're pretty much done without a caution.
Yeah, not only do you have to make it perfect, but you got to be on the same page. I mean, you want, what's the plan? Are we going to take full fuel and 2 tires? Because if that guy takes 4 tires,
Oh, yeah.
that's going to screw the whole pack up.
We saw it last night, even with Eric Mickey. He took fuel only and got out way in front of Peter Short and Corey Bunch, and it didn't really help him at all. It hurt him.
And there's a little bit of animosity going out through here between the 22 and the 23.
Don't be your nitpicky one. Boy, that 23 and 22 are definitely got some magnets there. I know Danica's not afraid to shake it up a little bit. So.
Yeah, apparently J.D. Cooper wants to go. Nobody else wants to. So,
Unfortunately, when you're the only one that wants to go, you're kind of out of luck.
yeah, they're shuffling him out. So,
Well, not anymore. He just shoved himself right in there.
Yeah.
Wow.
So thanks, Chess Story. I'll take that.
You know, I got to believe that Seven's going to put that in the back of his mind. Not working with you later. He just sounds like Tony Stewart there. It's great. I wish the viewers could hear the.
It looks like we do have
drivers
pit stops
chat, yeah.
happening, though. Cameron Rich on and off pit lane. Wade Lear, Johnny Thomas.
Steve Ketterman.
Richard Hines. That's odd. They all came in early. They were the slower of the group. I figured they could have saved a little more.
Hearing some more drivers making their way down pit road. This is right on about where you figured, Trey, about lap 29:30. So
Yeah, but a lot of guys coming in. This is definitely where it's going to get pretty interesting.
ooh, here they come.
88 coming down, hot. 7 coming down, 90. Corey Lindsay, Luis Amaso, Sam Close, and the leader.
Oh,
All right.
spun out. A spinner on pit road.
Well,
Somebody spun, didn't catch him.
7, Just Story. That's gonna hurt.
Well, that is a lot of cars.
He locked him up there. He almost ran over the 88. Lock him up to avoid him. Unfortunately, he's going to lose a lot of
Ooh,
time.
Got
48
contact.
gets turned by the 97 coming into his pit stall.
Nice.
You know, you gotta know where you're at on pit lane.
That could have easily been
Gun for the
avoided
40.
there.
That's a pretty hard lick.
And he hit it again, I believe, after he was trying to spin around.
This is
Another
gonna
pack coming on pit road.
cycle some things around.
Oh, so we got Cody Wright around the pit entrance.
Oh, the 32 also around the
Oh,
Cody Wright
man.
lost his front clip.
Yeah, 38's got massive front end damage.
That
Maybe you didn't
was
want to pit in a
weird
pack.
spin. It might just be on my end there, but that spin looked strange.
Oh, 33 massive problems in his pit stall. Still not in there.
What is it with the 33 and not being able to pit? Thomas Fredericks?
That's a lot of time lost there. He's probably going to fall out of that front pack and only take 2 right sides, it looks like. Wow, I guess they saved all the action for pit lane, boys.
Did they ever? That was wild. And 23, JD Cooper is done for the night.
Yeah, he had troubles on pit road as well, and actually spun it on the backstretch and just said, "To hell with it."
Well, he took his ball and went home.
Yeah.
Evidently.
I don't even know who's going to be the leader when this cycles out, because that was way too much action there. I think the pack's pretty much going to be not even close to the same as it was coming in.
No, this is interesting. I really want to see how this cycles through. Also, looks like Nathan Young in 21 had issues. He's just getting regular service done alone.
Yeah, it's odd, but wait for this to cycle. Surely that's not right as Drew. No, it can't be. Yeah, we'll wait for that cycle.
Well, looking here, Corey Lindsay has quite a bit of damage on his back end. That might just be my internet was having issues there, guys, so I might be seeing lag damage.
Yeah, he looks clean on my end. This cycles through, he should be the race leader, right?
I'm thinking too, yeah.
Yeah, looks like
He is.
Yep. Corey Lindsay, followed by Luis Salmaso, Paul Ross, Drew Eisman, and Rusty Webb. They're top
There's
5 right now.
Huge gap.
And that's a big, that's a breakaway there with those 5 cars. If I was them, I'd be like, let's stay in line. They got a 5-second gap over 6th place.
Yeah, they definitely executed on pit lane better than, well, the majority
Everybody
of the field.
else.
Yeah, Peter Short was in this front pack, now 10.8 seconds off the leader. So
Yeah, those issues on pit road will always kill you, especially on these plate tracks.
he's back there with the 1 car, looking 41 also. They're trying to get together, see if they can maybe catch back up a little bit here.
Here now, Carlos Acosta and Eric Mickey trying to get a game plan organized here, because as you guys said, they have to get their get moving there, because they're pretty far off that lead pack.
Yeah, this race has a green flag feel to it if these guys keep going the way it's been going.
Gonna change. Looks like the 14 Jordan Teal is getting put 1 lap down there.
Didn't have a good execution in pit lane, I'm assuming.
No, but that's gonna be good for him. He can catch on to the back of this pack and try to hang as the first car 1 lap down, as long as he can get the draft from that 88 or Rusty Webb there.
Yeah, I'm with you though, Trey. If you don't get your act together here, you're always in the back of your head thinking you're gonna get a caution on a plate track. But if you don't, you're over 6 seconds now off these guys. That's hard to make up. With the fixed set, it's not like you've got some special setup under the hood. You kind of just have to work together and see if you can push longer than the other guys. And we're already hearing Eric Mickey talk about engine temps. So
Yeah, because this front pack, they don't even have to push. All they got to do is sit in line and just ride.
Yeah, last lap they were 2/10 quicker. Let's see what they are this lap. About a 10. Depending on who you are, but yeah, that's. I'm sure the majority of the field is praying for a caution, and the front 5 or 6 are saying, "No, we're good."
I'll tell you this: one guy that really wants a caution right now, that 48, Nathan Velez. He does have pretty substantial damage done to the front end, and he's fixing to be lapped here in probably 2 or 3 laps.
Yeah, I was gonna say he lost tons of time. Just looking through who's still. What, Cameron Rich still buried deep in the field, P18. Johnny Thomas still back there, Trey. Like you mentioned, he didn't qualify. That could come back to haunt him there.
Yeah. Yes, yeah, they're all back there. That 17 on back, they're in that big pack. Just losing touch with these front 5.
Tell you, also had a very disastrous pit stop there. Race Clark running P19, so he lost a lot of time back there with Chuck Sweeting now. It's good for Mike Stevens, I guess, because he's ahead of him by quite a few cars. Looks like the field's finally caught up to the 48 there, Matt. Looks like he's going to give him the low line. You can tuck back in behind him here, maybe suck up to him.
He's going way slow. Hopefully he can. It's going to be close. Jordan Teal doesn't want him to, however, because right now Velez will be the first. Nope. And Teal gets right by him.
And Jordan's like, nah. I don't want that lucky dog. Thanks, son.
I don't even know if Velez is going to be able to keep up with that pack.
Yeah, I'd be curious how much damage that was, because that was a pretty hard hit. And then, like you said, Matt, that secondary hit, too.
That was just rubbing salt in the wound, that second hit, because when you're like that, you expect the car to rotate a little bit more when you have the back tires spinning, but sometimes it just doesn't work in your favor.
Not with that good old restrictor plate lock you have in the car. Sometimes they won't turn in a 40-acre field. Looks like we do have, who's that? Cameron Rich. Looks like the Johnny Thomas guys are catching up to Jess Story, and who else was that? Pac, Matt Hackthorne, all maybe going to group up together here so they can run them down. Fortunately, you probably need more than 6, though, Trey, because if you're 6 on 5 or 6 on 6, it's really not enough. You need a bigger pack to kind of get that draft working.
Yeah.
This is going to be the bonus point lap. Right now, Corey Lindsay's leading it. It's going to give him a little bit extra help in the points. He's still in the playoffs as of right now. See if he can finish up and lead it. And after this, guys, I think we should try something that always brings us a caution.
Oh, God. Shall we go through the field?
Let's do it.
Rack them up.
All right, well, currently leading and going to get that halfway bonus point. Mr. Corey Lindsay there in the 90 machine looking to see if he can not have to worry about points, guys, and win his way into the playoffs.
Right there in tow of Corey Lindsay in that 90, we have the 4, Luis Salmoso. He had the pole after Cameron Rich surrendered it, and he's been running up there all night. See what he can do here come near the end of the race.
We got Paul Ross running 3rd. He started 16th. He's led the most laps so far. Led 21, but he's currently 3rd.
Running P4, we have the 77 machine of Drew Eisman, who's pretty solid in the points, as we saw earlier, so can maybe take a few more gambles than some of these guys who were tight on points, but still looking to get that first win of the season as he came oh so close at Pocono.
Rounding out that top 5 with 88, Rusty Webb. He needs to win a race in order to make the playoffs. Maybe tonight will be his night.
Rusty Webb's leading that front at the end of that front pack. Sam Close is leading the second pack. He started 10th tonight. He's currently running 6th, currently 6.5 seconds off that front pack.
And right behind him, running P7, his drafting partner, Eric Mickey, started P9, but like you said, Trey, right behind Sam Close, trying anything they can here to try and catch this front pack and make a race of it.
Well, Thomas better drink a Red Bull and get those wings out because he needs her. And back in the 8th spot, we have the 2 of Carlos Acosta, another guy that I believe is going to need a win in order to secure his way into the playoffs, which Daytona, wild card. See what can happen.
And our points leader started 5th, currently running 9th. Leading the, I guess, the 3rd pack now. Peter Short currently running 10th.
And running he's P9 now, is Danny Delameda, looking to, like I said, Trey needs a win too. Started P29, currently P9.
Rounding out. No, sorry, it's not. It's just on the 11th spot. Your Daytona 500 winner. However, he does need another win because he was uncharted at the time. Brooks Westfall. He did it once. Can he do it again?
That's like, should have got that charter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm looking, guys, around the track. We currently have, 4 distinct packs. We got that front pack that's about 8 cars. The second pack that's, 1, 2, 3 cars. And then the last pack is 12th on back. It kind of makes you wonder if these guys that are like 6 seconds back, if they might want to drift back to that last pack and put the entire field together again to get them running single file to try to track down these top 5, because the way it's going, this top 5 is setting sail.
That's a tough gamble, because if you go back that far and it doesn't work out, you've just lost that much more time. I'm more curious about this pack, the leisure catching, because that's actually, well, they've single file now, but that's a gaggle of cars that they're going to have to intermingle with here with their own little pack, and that could throw this whole thing for a loop. So that's Cody right up there they're going to lap, and then in front of him you got Brett Miller, Kyle Hanshaw, Nick Miller, and Chad Brown. That could, you see that many lap cars, that can really mess up your draft. Or it could change nothing at all, as we know.
And again, these guys, in that front 4 in front of the leaders, they're not obligated to move. I mean, it's just, this could be a big mess.
No,
That's what I was just about to say there, Trey. Yeah.
Hold the line, please. Hopefully, that's what you did.
They have pretty well caught them. I suspect they're going to have their draft by turn 3, even the backstretch.
This actually will help, well, I say help Corey Lindsey, but it kind of gives you that little suck up so you can maybe pull ahead a little bit too. This Rusty Webb looks like he's actually losing contact with his front 4, which could be devastating for him.
Yes, that would be terrible.
Yeah, because he has no help behind him.
And as you suspected there, Thomas, Corey Lindsey's kind of pushed away from it from Luis Salmaso. See if he can get a few lap cars in between them and maybe secure his lead a little bit more.
Well, I know what this front pack don't want. They don't want to start messing around racing with this lead pack. Either you just stay behind them and stay in line and go, or I would hate to see this front pack jump to the outside and start racing, because that's going to let everybody else catch up.
Yeah, I guess you want to. What's that front car hit for a little bit there? That's the thing that scares me. And then you caught them for a reason, though, Trey. They're slower than this pack, so you. Right. If you work together, you might can get around them on the outside, but that's a big gamble to take.
And the pack is self-imploding right now. There's a high line being started with one car. Nobody else went out there with him, so he's going to probably drop all the way back unless Chad Brown throws him a bone, which I don't believe he's going to.
No.
Chad Brown throw you a bone? I don't think so.
Yeah, Nick Miller's just going to drop like a rock now. He's going to be behind this lead pack.
Boy, I thought Rusty Webb was going to lose the draft, and he's right back in it.
Oh, no. Oh, sorry, I just saw a car blink out there. I thought that was...
Whew. Heart stopper there.
Yeah, and I'm not even racing.
keep an eye on that gap, see if it comes down any. But I think, like you said, Trey, just play it safe. Maybe right behind him, see how bad it gets for you. Well, lost about 2 or 3 tenths that lap.
But
they've got quite a lot to lose. So.
Yeah, and they just shuffled out the 9 out of that pack, so it's kind of for Corey, just play it smart. Try to pick them off one at a time here.
Coming up to Nathan Young, they're going to put another lap down. Gotta be careful though, Matt. He's gonna be close to getting the old 6-11 roll there.
Yeah, he's praying for quite a few cautions, I think, Thomas. He's not looking too stout right now.
Not seeing a whole lot of damage on that car.
Well, Corey Lindsay going to the high side there with the 89 of Brent Miller. And they're going to leapfrog this pack. And Luis Salmaso has not followed him, but Paul Ross has. We'll see what's going to happen there. This is getting interesting.
It was kind of far back from Luis to do that. I'm kind of surprised. But that's going to let Paul Ross get around Luis.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That was closer than it needed to be.
Paul Ross has a nice run there. He's going to get in behind his teammate there, Corey Lindsay. But Lindsay got loose going into the corner. Nice save there.
Now you got to wonder if these guys are taking 2 tires. You're going to have to run a whole fuel stint on those left sides. 2 fuel stints by the time you're done. That's, it's going to get these things a little squirrely.
Now let Luis catch right back up, and they're going to put these guys a lap down.
Well, they need to hurry up because we're approaching the pit window here.
Yeah, we are. That's true, Trey. We're real close to it. Wow, they're facing some close.
Pinch the 89 tire before that time. It's like, man, give me a break here. Oh, 89 just blinked out.
Still gone.
Yeah.
There he is.
Wow.
Pulled down. Nice move.
And we have a gaggle. It's almost like tandems there now, guys.
Of interwoven lap cars and lead lap cars.
This is a mess.
Are you hearing the chatter of who's taking what next pit stop? I would assume everyone's going to probably take 2 again. Well, that was costly for the 89, though, man. He did the right thing, but this cost him a buttload of time there.
Trust me, I feel his pain there.
Now, Eric and Sam have cut it down to 6.5 seconds. It was over 7 at one point, but just, like I said, Trey, just not going to make up enough time here.
Definitely not now that these guys got everything kind of straightened out as Paul Ross about... Wow.
Gonna open the door for Chad Brown.
Paul Ross right now on the high side with Corey Lindsay getting some help. Chad's going to try to get his lap back the hard way. And a shove from Drew Eisenman there in the 77.
Sounds like Johnny Thomas Racing planning on pitting their cars on coming to 55.
Yep.
So.
This lap.
I believe that's going to bring you a new leader, folks. The 77, Drew Eisenman, right now side by side. Corey Lindsay.
Yeah, working with the lap car, their little pick helping them out. Not too often you see that.
No. It's a whole host of cars pitting. Now, guys, if you're one of those guys in the backpacks that are pretty far back, what are we going to do? No tires, just fuel? Or do you think they need tires?
Can you gamble on no? That's... If you took 2 the first time, you have to take 2 again at least, because you're just going to be all over the place.
Yeah, if I took 2 rights the last time, I'm taking 2 lefts this time.
The 03 has trouble on problems on pit road.
Wow.
Oh, caution is
And
out.
the caution.
For who?
Is it the six for the 03 on pit road?
Oh.
63, maybe I'm hearing. Levi, another housekeeping note that the 7 and the A97 both had issues again on pit road.
Oh, it looks like 63 locked him up, slid in the grass, and stopped. And that must have triggered the caution code.
See what he's trying. I understand what he was trying to do there. He's trying to get himself back behind that commitment cone. Unfortunately, the code of iRacing decided to say no.
Well, that changes a few things.
Well, we did make her 54 laps there under green, so it's going to be $54 donated to that GoFundMe page for Mark Zielinski, who is currently battling cancer. So if you want to go drop a couple dollars over, it's going to be in the chat in just a moment.
Pretty impressive. I mean, a fixed set, old Daytona had to
Yeah.
be tweaked for the bumps. Saw some, they rode around for a little bit, but at the beginning they did try and battle for what they could get until the tires went away. But now you got to know you can't lose the draft. You got to stay up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to see a mess now, I think, guys. It's going to be crazy.
If you didn't rack up a lot of X's earlier, you're going to rack them up now.
Yeah, there's no more riding around the back.
This should benefit Cameron Rich and those guys a lap down. They should be able to stay out. Should, if they were on pit lane at the time of caution, hoping that they didn't get lapped.
Trying to figure that out. It's real confusing now. I believe Chad Brown was on the lead lap anyway, but I'm going to try to see what the wave around right now. The score is Jess Story.
Looks like maybe Nick Miller got it because he's taking it.
Oh yeah, he is at full speed. So the 9 and Nick Miller gets it, but these guys can stay out for the wave round.
Let me go back to investigating, see where they were at the time of caution.
This is helpful though for that 48 machine, guys. He gets to try to get that front end repaired, even though I think he might be in trouble anyway. No, he's only 1 lap down. I don't know. If I were him, I think I'd stay out. No, he can't. He's out in the pit window.
Did that 97 get in contact again on pit
Yeah,
lane?
the 97 and the 7 did make contact going into the box there. The 7 apologized for that one, by the way. He was on the inside.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. It was just like another one. Jeez.
Yeah, well, pit road's calamity, I guess. It's not even on the track. Well, as soon as I say that, it's going to be wild here for the final 20 laps or so.
So it looks like they're going to, Johnny Thomas, Cameron Rich, even Levi, I believe, all going to take the wave around. Maybe the 08 as well. Or is he? No, he's leaving pit lane. So those guys did get trapped by the timing of the caution. So unfortunately, I thought they were maybe going to be able to steal the track position and be the leader, but not happening.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, it did not happen. But anyways, guys, we're just going to take you to side-by-side real quick here, and we're going to go refill our coffee because Thomas Fredericks is not doing that anymore. So we'll be right back, and you can still see, but you don't have to hear us talk.
And we're back from our nice coffee break since Matt ran down to Starbucks and then forgot the credit card. So we're left here hanging once again. But
I'll be there soon.
as you saw, you didn't miss anything. We're getting ready to fire him back up here and see who's got what. Trey, like we said, I don't think you can lose a draft here. You're gonna have to get aggressive.
No.
See if you can get up there and get some laps.
Yeah, you got to go. It looks like Corey Lindsey chose the outside as well on this restart. It's an interesting move. His pace car's down.
And we're back to green. Not the best of starts there from Rusty Webb. Kind of left Corey hanging there.
Yeah, he did. He's going to let Paul Ross get out front.
And get that 4 machine, and then we know Mr. Golden Horseshoe himself, the 6 car, working his way up to the top 3 here, Matt.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting bout here, I think, because you have these guys that are still fast sitting in the back. You got Nick Miller, Cameron Rich still back there deep in the field, Jeffrey Free, Race Clark. Chuck's waiting, like...
I haven't seen him up front all night.
No. Corey Lindsey is just... That's terrible to see. He just never had any help from behind, unfortunately. And
I'm just curious why he chose the outside there as the leader.
I think him and the 88 are teamed up, but somebody must have got their wires crossed on that restart.
Well,
the
so
88's
is-
in the wall. He's got it.
So is Corey and the 18. The 8 actually is, I believe, shake and bake, so...
Oh, right, sorry.
Either way, he did not shake and bake on that restart, and that's the main problem Corey Lindsey felt there. And it's, like you said, Trey, that's probably not the best decision he could have made. Might kick himself for that one.
Yeah.
Because he worked all race, cycle of pit stops, and finally got to that position, and now he's just watching him drive by.
Hey, he led 25 laps, and again, I'm not sure why he chose the outside here. He's asking for a review of the restart now.
I'll give you that as get it here.
I didn't see anything too fishy. He just didn't have any help.
Yeah, it's just like the outside line didn't go, but the inside lane did.
I mean, once it goes green, you can go. So no NASCAR shenanigans.
And that's his teammate that he's asking for a review on as well, so something must have happened there that Corey Lindsey wants to see if he can get some help with it.
Maybe they had the good old Tom Riker countdown there. They were like, 1 go.
Kind of like the pace car poking him, right?
Oh, man. Or a Corey Bunch countdown at Infineon, where he, like 4-2 go. Who counts like that? I mean, come on.
Corey's not wasting any time. He's trying to get back to the front there. He just kind of ushered the 64 Chad Brown out of the bottom line, so he can take it.
Oh, 8 spinning through 1 and 2. He's going to stay off the track, hopefully. Yes, he will. Okay. Sorry, there. That looked like he was going to KO the wall there.
That was a weird
That's
spin.
odd.
He got loose on entry. Just kind of, he didn't even touch the outside wall. That was a good piece of driving to keep it off the walls there.
Ooh, 22 around off of turn 4.
Oh, save it, buddy.
17 through the grass on the front stretch.
See how he re-enters. That's going to be hard to bring it back safely.
Oh, did he hit the cone?
He did drill the cone.
You remember a little
No
contact
caution.
between the 22 and the 26?
Oh, the 26 tried to get up high, and he kind of missed the...
Oh, yeah, just clipped him.
It's not good for Race Clark. He needs another caution now.
That was some good driving from Cameron Rich, though. Took it down the grass to miss it and didn't Jesus Andrade it back into the field.
Yeah, that's a scary one there.
He did obliterate that cone, though, so you have to send your condolences to the Cone family.
We'll have 5 seconds of silence for the green cone at the end of pit road.
Oh, he obliterated, I think, the entrance cone, too.
Oh, no.
If you're going to hit one, you might as well hit the other. Meanwhile, up front, still same old.
I mean, we haven't seen much happening on the outside tonight. So, coming to 15 to go. If you're
Oh, the
Caution's out.
89.
Oh, 8 cars. Someone on their lid still
That's the
wrecking into 3.
89 upside down. Wow.
Give a wrench in the grass again
Oh,
to
the
miss it.
63 Mike Stevens involved. That's one of the bubble drivers. He is done for the night. His motor's expired. Race Clark might have just dodged a huge, I'd say, silver bullet with its Coors Banquet car.
Oh, he kind of got shoved back into that with Nathan Velez coming through there.
Man. Matt Hackathorn back end is gone.
He thought it was going to slide up by. You can just tell from the in-car they were going to come up, but then I believe the 8 bounced off of the 89 who was on his lid sliding down the track.
14 also involved in that caution. That was a big one.
Oh, that was just a misjudgment there on the 89. Looks like he thought he was clear and came right up across the nose of the 8. Where's my slow-mo camera?
Kyle Hanshaw just clears up the confusion there that he was not clear.
He came up on him, but the 8 actually, it's plate track, so you kind of have a little wobble there, but he shuffled a little bit to the left right before he hooked him, but yeah, that was not the best way to clear yourself. Made for a heck of a show, though.
I was going to say, I can't believe how quickly that 89 got onto his lid, and we're going to have some takers for pit road, I think. Rusty Whit, fakes him out.
I'm kind of surprised there's not more.
Guess they figured the tires just don't mean enough. 89 taking credit for his wreck there. It's mighty big of him.
I don't know. I might want 4 tires here.
Matt, that's also a big hit for Brett Miller. He's only 6 points ahead of Mike Stevens, so...
Yeah, that's true too. And
Brooks Westfall looking to be the man in the catbird seat. Yes, he's still running.
Westfall, yeah, that's gonna be huge for him. Danny D'Almeida, wow. The one car
Danny
also having some good, might have some good luck here too. He's gonna gain some points. He's just gotta hope that he keep that 41 and 22 away.
Let's not put the cart before the horse yet. We're not done with this race yet.
No, we still have we're gonna be going green probably with 10 laps to go, which means.
We saw how the
trouble.
500 ended, so I'm not counting my chickens yet. If you've still got something running all the way even back to Matt Hackathorn, you probably have a shot at winning this. Boys. I thought the action might hot up a little after that first caution, and pretty much did. Producer telling us we have Paul Ross clutching it, maybe trying to cool it off because it should be final fuel.
And actually, I'd want to burn fuel here.
Yeah, but you don't want to rev it up and get the motor hot, though.
Well, that's true, but he's out front, so.
True. That's why I'm up here.
I'm thinking here this next little shot to the finish, we're going to have some much wilder racing. It's not going to be so give and take and single file. I was even surprised there, like you mentioned, Thomas, that it wasn't more aggressive up front. They were just kind of relaxed and waiting for their chance to pounce. But if everybody pounces at the same time, there's not going to be anywhere to go.
Well, that's my question. We saw, we've seen it all race. These guys have been running single file on the bottom. When do you jump out and try to make that move, and how long is it going to take you to make that move on the outside?
You're going to have help. Pretty good help. Pretty steady line kind of push.
Yeah, help. And if I'm those guys, I do that as soon as the green flag falls again here.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, man. I don't think these guys can wait until 2 or 3 to go. I think they got to make it happen as soon as the green flag goes down.
Like Thomas said, we're not in the tandems anymore where you could go from 20th place at the back of the pack to the front in 5 laps. So
checking the team speak roster there, and I was trying to see if Eric Mickey was maybe in a chat with someone else. He's not. He's by himself. So I was thinking maybe they were going to pull a little. Who do you work with last night? Peter Short. Thought they might try and rekindle that, but I guess not. Let's have a private chat
Don't
set
forget.
up on iRacing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You could be in a chat on iRacing with the Isentech Enterprise Empire boys.
I don't know. This will be a tough one to pick because, I mean, you hate to bet against the guy up front because you can kind of dictate the path. But if Eric and Drew and Peter all want to work together, even you got Sam Close, we've seen the speed out of that car. He can, try and weasel his way through those guys to get up to help Paul. Although both Paul and Sam have a win this season, so.
I would like to mention to Corey Lindsay that the leader chose the inside this time.
Now, any particular reason you pointed that out, Trey?
Well, I just kind of think he finds himself in a mess. What is he, 10th now? And
Yeah.
he was the leader of that last restart until he chose the outside.
Still have a whopping 24 vehicles on the lead lap, so a lot of points to be lost here.
That could be a kindle for a large wreck here come the end of this one.
Should be coming, to around 11 to go. It's going to put us pretty decent little shootout here. I think maybe one of the underrated drivers, which he shouldn't be, is that 4-car because he sat on the pole last night, sat on the pole tonight, and here he is up front again, looking to try and get this win. He got damaged last night, so we're going back to green here. But I wouldn't count him out either.
Yeah, Paul Ross got a big jump there. I just wonder if it's too much.
Eric's gonna go in the low line here, though.
Yep, Drew Osmond jumped down that low line as well. Gonna hang out Luis there.
Four with a little pinch there going in.
I think I'd want that 4-car pushing me because I do believe he knows what he's doing here in the plate tracks.
Yeah, that's what kind of surprises me that the 77
They're
can stick
hanging
with
him out. 33
So-
cut to his outside.
Corey Lindsay back there trying to catch up with the back of Brooks Westfall and Peter Short, who's pushing on the outside. Looks like he's not gaining any ground, and those guys are going to file back into a single file line on the bottom. Richard Hines, the 87, though, going to go up and try to give Corey a hand, I think, as there's now a race, boys.
Yeah, now you get your pack because it's 10 to go. You've got to do something.
Eric Mickey with a big push by Sam Close, trying to take the lead away from that 18. He's got the 77 and the 33 behind him. I don't know if Eric's going to be able to clear him yet. Doesn't look like it. That outside line is going to need a lot more help.
Looking back here, guys, I know it's a little bit farther away from the front pack, but Jeffrey Acree and Race Clark are trying to get something figured out. See if they can catch back up to them. They're not far back. They still have a whiff of draft, but they have to start doing some pushing right now.
You're going to have to channel their inner Dale there to see if they can get to the front.
Got it.
Dale reference.
Yeah. And I don't like, personally, I hate being stuck on the bottom with 10 laps to go. I want that high side 100% of the time because you can make something happen up there.
Yeah, you're better off as long as they stay green because you know what happens to wrecks. They're going to come up before they come down. But yeah, the high side normally doesn't bind up as much as the bottom.
Chad Brown comes in there with a big push to the back of Sam Close. That's going to rocket Eric Mickey back to contending with that 18 for the lead. And Drew Eisenman also their second, pushing the 18 of Paul Ross.
Starting to see a lot more pinching now.
Yeah, a little pinching. Cars bumping around too. See that 41 all on the apron to the tri-oval there.
It's not hard to get lost either on corner entry with these guys all in front of you. It's hard to see.
Yeah, it's almost impossible to see in front of you if you're really kind of get tunnel vision, Matt. You can focus on that guy's spoiler, making sure you push him in the right spot, and next thing you know, you push up half a lane.
Top line's lost a little bit of momentum there, but they're going to be getting Corey Lindsay and Richard Hines up there very soon to give them an extra little shove, I think.
Yeah, that bottom line's just formed up a whole lot better than that top side.
Well, it's 2 Eisentech cars behind Paul Ross. If they ride this way, I don't think they're going to be content to ride behind him to the finish.
Oh, Eric Mickey do a nice pinch in there through the tri-oval. You need to get that side draft off that guy, and that does work here.
Playing with those laws and net code, though. Been pretty clean with the net code tonight.
Luckily. And that top line is completely drowned out there right now, and we've got to regroup because we're closing in here. We're 7 laps to go, and be 6 this time.
Yeah, that top line's in big trouble, and they're going to need a lot more pushers.
Looks like
Heisman looked out there, didn't he?
yeah, he did. Said better of it.
Look who's behind him at 33, Peter Short.
And behind him, your 500 winner.
Oh, Chad Brown shoved that forward line. That gives us the 6, the 4 to work with on the outside.
He said, you know what? We're going to go somewhere.
You gotta believe these guys here and you watch them. They know that 4 is quick.
41's thinking about it.
Brooks Westfall.
Here comes a 77.
Oh, Paul Ross.
Hung out here.
He's got Danny D'Almeida coming up behind him, though, so he's going to have a little bit of help coming. But right now, Drew Eisman's going to take the lead there on the high side.
A little too late, though. Big push from that top line there. So, top 2, top 3 are going to clear. Not much room there for the 4.
The top line shaping up a lot better now. We got Wade Lear, Chuck Sweeting, Sam Close, Eric Mickey, and some also just ducked in there. But Paul Ross might be trying to adventure out.
Looking like it. Oh, 33 gets hooked
Trouble
on the back
there.
stretch.
And
Oh,
we're
it's
wrecking
gonna
it.
stay green. It's going to stay green until the big wreck. Oh, 33 involved
Why
again.
is this
Oh,
so
they're
Lindsay
still coming back across the
87, and
track.
this is
Hard
still the
impact.
2.
Okay.
Good
Rusty
Lord.
Webbing.
This might be the race, guys.
Yeah, because they're coming to 77. This will be just like last night.
What a wreck.
Should be Drew Eisman.
Oh, they're still wrecking.
Oh,
Wow.
8 involved in that one afterwards.
Pretty sure that got triggered with Brooks Westfall pushing Peter Short on the right rear quarter panel.
Oh, Cameron Rich and Chad Brown got tangled up there coming across the stripe, 6th and 7th. After the caution came out.
Looks like Peter was offset of Drew, I guess trying to stay cool, and when Brooks pushed him, it just sent them all wampus. Boy, that killed Paul Ross, didn't it?
That's a huge wreck on the backstretch there, especially when those cars came washing back up the track.
Boy, Race Clark just within inches of making it through there.
Wow. I don't know what's going on here with the 17 and 64. That was an interesting wreck. It was after the yellow flag came out.
Yeah, he said something on the radio. He just didn't know he was there or something. I don't.
Somebody just
something
blew
crazy.
up.
'64, I believe, his engine expired.
Somebody left the clutch out there. Oh, that's Cameron.
Wade Lear actually made it through all right, even though he was mauled in that wreck.
Boy, talk about points day. Brooks Westfall, P2.
Danny D'Almeida, P4. It's going to be good for him, too. That's going to bring him right back into the picture.
I wonder if Drew's going to get around for an interview tonight, Trey.
Well, we'll see.
That was an unexpected turn of events there. We figured something might happen, but I thought they might make it a few more laps there. I guess you didn't want to be up front because I was wrong once again. That was pretty much for the lead.
Yeah, but you mentioned it, Thomas. Big points day for Brooks Westphal. He was, 15 points on the bubble. And Race Clark and Mike Stevens both had trouble tonight. So big points night for him.
Where did old Race Clark finish?
We have a little bit of
I'm
P11.
showing him 10th.
a little bit of salt in the chat here that I'm just gonna let fester.
Fester away, Lester.
It's like Wade Lear ended up finishing 6th. Chuck Sweeting 7th. Good run for those guys.
Yeah, that was a wild race.
It was pretty good right there until the end when it went typical plate race. Just like the pros. I mean, what can you expect, really, boys? I mean, fix setup, you all want to go for it. I mean, plate racing in general, you can't get away. So.
Yeah, that's true, and I'm just shocked at how that unfolded. Because it looked like it was going to stay green until just all hell broke loose, I guess, there at the end of it.
I think we all pretty much knew Peter was going to do everything he could to keep Drew up front. I just figured they wouldn't fall victim to a wreck that early. Just kind of got off center there with a push, and around he went, and then chaos behind him. How about Chuck Sweeting there, Trey? Didn't talk about him all night hardly, and he ends up P7.
Yeah.
Wade Lear sticks around for a P6. Any other surprises? Nick Miller rebounds P11. That's not terrible for where he was running most of the night.
Big story, I guess. Johnny Thomas didn't really do anything all night long. It's going to end up 21st. So big hit for him in the championship standings.
Yeah, he had 57 coming in, but that's not going to help him any. Sometimes it's your night, sometimes it's not on these plate tracks.
So sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug.
Sometimes you just shouldn't have shown up at all. That's what it feels like anyway.
Yeah. It's like, why did I bother?
It's like, just do 2 hours to literally ride around the back and then not even get a shot at it? Okay.
That's the biggest thing with plate racing with me, guys. I don't like riding around in the back anymore. I wanna stay at the front.
Thankfully, we have taken the white flag. Well, it's quite excruciating here at plate tracks, kind of like Pocono.
Not a bad race, guys. I mean, only 3 cautions tonight, so very competitive race.
Yeah, it was, and it's great also for Mark Zielinski because every green flag lap we ran tonight, that gets donated to the GoFundMe page, which I'll repost here in the chat for anybody that wants to donate. And we had lots of green flag laps, so can't complain on that.
Yeah, without a doubt, that really, set the tone, we thought, for most of the race. But as usual, when we got down to the end and the points started getting paid out, it was getting a little crazy there. We got Chuck and Race talking about their incident earlier in the race. No real issues there.
Let's check the GoFundMe page there, guys. Shout out to Tanner Sharp, watching the broadcast right now. Decided to go toss a couple dollars in for him. It's sorry about my phone going off. I'm an idiot. Don't know how to turn my ringer off.
Well, you figure that out, and Drew Eisman is going to figure out how to get to victory lane, boys. He came so close at Pocono, within, what, 300 feet, 1,000 feet maybe? I don't know. I'm terrible at guessing distances, but not going to come up short tonight. He's going to be your winner here at Daytona. I was going to say he didn't come up short, but I thought that was too much. I think we've beaten that horse.
Horse dead, Jim. Like you guys said, Brooks Westphal, Danny Dalmeida, good points nights for them. Wade Lear comes in the 6th position after he looked like he was done in that wreck. That's just a crazy shake-up there at the end of that one.
Yeah, that's why if you can keep her rolling, you always keep her going here on these plate tracks, because you can steal a few spots at the end. I mean, even the Cameron Rich, Chad Brown thing, you made up spots even after the wreck was over, so... Well, what do you say we maybe mosey ourselves over to TeamSpeak and start seeing who's on?
Let's do it.
Drivers still making their long trip back around from the cooldown lap.
You know what, guys? Just came up short tonight from an interview. Danny D'Almeida finished 4th, started 29th. Good race for that #1 car. So shout out to you, Danny.
Hey, he didn't even put in the chat tonight, did he? That I'm not going to die tonight, or I'm probably going to die tonight. So maybe that's a good luck charm.
Yeah, maybe
Right.
if he doesn't say it, it's good.
I'm sure he's probably jumping for joy, though. That was, he needed that good solid run like we talked about.
Does help out quite a bit as Drew Eisman's gonna tear the tires off that 77 machine in the old surface.
Boy, it sure would be nice if my trading paints would have loaded that paint, but it didn't.
Trading paints, you suck. All right.
Yes.
After that's been done.
Yeah, thank you, version 2.11.
Don't update anybody that has not updated is watching this. Don't update. Mine works fine.
Wait for
Ish.
version
Well-
2.work.today, please.
Yeah, well, unfortunately now, Matt, as soon as you open Trading Paints, it will update.
Mine hasn't for some reason. I'm still on 1.4.1.
Oh,
Canadians.
well.
I just get lucky, I guess.
So, shall we grab our P3 finisher?
Let's
Looking
do
for
it.
him here.
He's at the top.
Found him.
All right, I got him. Luis Salmaso started on the pole tonight. Finished 3rd. Kind of a quiet night, Luis. Kind of stayed out of troubles. Hung around the top 5 tonight. Tell us about your race, bud.
Yeah, I was trying not to repeat last night, where I had a couple of contacts with a couple of guys, had to drive all the way to the back, had to move all the way to the front, so just tried to stay off everybody's bumper most of the night. And it's a tough thing when you're running by yourself, no teammates or anything like that, so I had to form alliances on the fly. Just whenever whoever was in front of me or close to me was going to pit, I was going to pit with, and just pray that they were on the same tire strategy. But it was a good race. We had a shot at the end on the restart. Drew didn't have the start that I thought he was going to have to push me, and we were going to be able to go by pole. He found a hole on the inside, and that left me by myself. So, but we were able to avoid the big one at the end. So, yeah, lucky to be alive. Lucky to be where I am. Not where I wanted to be, but not a bad finish.
Well, you say you're lucky, but you've swept the poles this week here at the plate track, so you've got speed in that car. Any kind of knacks or tricks you've picked up to try and get those, hot laps? I know the poles don't mean a whole lot at the plate tracks, but it helps you to get up, at least get that track position. As we saw tonight, you guys kind of got single file pretty quick. Did you maybe hope you could get that pole and just kind of lead the train around for a while?
Yeah, that was the plan. Here, different from last night at Dega. Dega, you can go 2 wide, 3 wide, depending on the number of cars that you have behind. You can pass people. Here's a different ball game, especially with this surface, the amount of bumps. You For you to go around, you need to have a extremely solid group of guys behind in one single file, and them running in the exact same line. There's a way that you can run a little bit of far from the yellow line on the bottom that you're not going to hit those many bumps. So if you have guys that are really good in the draft package, really know how to drive with each other, you can be a lot faster on the high side. Everybody just stick to the bottom and say, all right, this is how you guys want to play it, we'll stay in the bottom. So I think Paul and Sam went by me, I think around lap 10. I said, all right, this is where you guys want to go. I'll just push, and then when there's 5 to go, we'll see what happens.
Well, Luis, sorry, I was daydreaming. We've been so close here, especially qualifying on the pole 2 times in a row on these plate tracks. Talladega last night and Daytona tonight. Hard to say, but what was the kind of good strategy that you've seen get played out throughout the race? Because we saw how long that first green flag run went, and we were kind of even doubting the guys that were getting stuck back, and you guys were starting to lap. Do you think that was a keen strategy, or do you think what you decided to do was the best strategy to do for tonight?
I thought that if you can be up front on this track, you want to be up front. It's hard to pass on the outside. If track position here, even though it's a super speedway with this surface, it's a big thing. So if you can be up front, especially if you have a group of guys that understand that they can go single file faster than they go side by side, that's what happened on that early stint. We saw a lot of guys just afraid of running up front, and they just went back, and we were one single file just fit to the floor the entire time. And we got a pretty good sequence of pit stops, came back with 5 or 6 guys, again, single file, and that made the difference. Even if you were hanging behind and you're not in the right strategy, not doing the right thing, you were going to be stuck behind at least 10, 15 guys, and there's no way you can pass those many cars here, even if they're going side by side. So the closest to the front, the best strategy. No matter what you have to do to be there, just make sure that you are up front with at least a shot to go to the outside if you have someone behind that is willing to go with you. That, to me, that was the strategy. That's what we try to do by the end of the race. With 10 to go, that's what I try to do. The 6 wanted to go with me. He was pretty eager to go, and we almost made it work. So.
All right, Luis, you're no stranger to the podium, so you know what comes up next, man. Give us those shout-outs, bud.
I want to give a big shout-out to everybody from Apex Racing. A lot of guys racing week in, week out, the fixed series, the open series, working on setups. So big thanks to them. Big thanks to everybody at WCR that I raced for the past 2 years and gave me a couple tips. You guys asked about how to go ahead and be fast on qualifying. That's what happened. So we practice a lot on qualifying, especially to get away from the mess. Everybody from the club, they're watching the broadcast. So big shout out to them. Thanks to you guys for putting up the broadcast. It's always fun to go back and watch. And a big shout out to Mark. Hopefully this race will help the endeavors of him, his family, everybody. I know it's a pretty hard time that they're going to have to deal with. And as far as we can, we're going to do our part to not only try to raise as much money as possible, but raise awareness toward the situation, and whatever they need, we're going to be here.
All right, Luis. Well said, brother. I think everybody else in the racing community feels the same way. Always a pleasure talking to you. One of these days, we're going to be talking to you as a winner, I have no doubt. But we'll see you next time on the track.
Yes, sir. Win is coming. Just a little bit of luck, right place, right time. It's coming. I can see it. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
All right. Without delay, I got him. He started 11th, kind of rode around back all night. The Daytona 500 champion, looking to repeat tonight. Came up just 0.3 of a second short in that effort. Brooks Westphal, driver of that number 41. Tell us about your race, man. Hello. Hello.
I forgot I unplugged my wheel. No, I appreciate you guys having me on here, but the race really, I just was waiting for, something to happen. I was waiting for like some early wreck or something like that, so I dropped back and kind of riding around, and thankfully that caution came out with I don't know, 20 to go, kind of bunched up the field. Otherwise, I was looking at just kind of cruising to a 10th place finish. For that kind of accident at the end, I got a run where I least expected it out of two. I got a shot going into one, and I thought I would get the run in two, kind of kill off the momentum, but I actually got it out of two. And I tried moving high to kind of kill the top line's momentum, move back down, and I didn't realize it until I was kind of turning the wheel back down that I got that run, and I bumper hooked Peter and kind of sent him spinning, and I feel like an idiot afterwards, because if I just stayed to the bottom and gave Peter a shot, we would have probably had a decent race. But it was a pretty decent effort. I mean, as you guys can tell throughout the whole season, plate racing is kind of my forte, as you would say. But it was a pretty solid effort. I think now I'm moved into the bump spot for the chase barely, but now probably until the cutoff race, I just need to string together some consistent finishes.
Yeah, you hold a commanding 2-point lead in the playoff standings right now.
And all I need's one, so.
So, well, let's harp on that a little bit. Did you kind of have that in the back of your head all night, trying to play it safe to manage points, or did you feel like, hey, I won not necessarily this Daytona, but I won Daytona in the spring, so I want to try and sweep it and just not have to worry about the win as a charter driver now, not have to worry about it and just kind of ride into the playoffs, getting ready for those?
Yeah, I was thinking, like, before the caution came out with 20 to go, I was thinking, well, I'll take a solid 10th place finish. If I can just string together some top 10s until Richmond, I should be all right. And I kind of wanted to go into Richmond with a big enough buffer for myself where I could say, you know what, I don't need anything crazy to happen for me. I just need to do my thing and be done with it. But once that caution came out, I thought, you know what, let's throw caution to the wind and let's try and get something going here. But it's super speedway racing. It happens. Unfortunately, iRacing doesn't have overtime, but you know what? I think it's better without overtime. But who knows? I mean, I'd like to shout out Eisentech and 3OG with Race and Drew Cameron. Worked well with them tonight, and I also worked well with Peter until 3 to go. But it was a good effort. I mean, like I said, without the win, a second place finish is just about damn best thing I could have done tonight.
All right, Brooks. Well, we appreciate it, man. Gave us those shout outs early, so you kind of cut me off there. But currently, above that bubbles position, we'll see if you can keep it as we move forward. We look forward to seeing you on track next week, man. Have a good night.
You do the same. Thanks, guys.
2 points, boys. That is nothing. It's I guess it's double what it was coming in, but
yeah. I mean, well, he made up he made up a lot of points. He was 15 back, and now he's 2 ahead.
Yeah,
so yeah,
poor Mike Stevens took the brunt of that.
Yeah, without a doubt. But speaking of without a doubt, he's helping to keep Austin weird. He started 7th. Finished first. Winner, chicken dinner from Austin, Texas. Driver that number 77, Drew Eisman. Tell us about your race tonight, bud.
It went pretty well. I'll take it. I'm sure it was kind of boring to you guys, but it was challenging to drive, especially when you were just on right side tires. It just pushed pretty significantly, and you could feel the drag. I really don't know what happened with any of the cautions other than the last one. I think Brooks got a run and Peter was already loose and it just tapped him enough to where it spun him around. But other than that, I mean, I thought it was a really, really clean restrictor plate race for us, which is really nice to see. And then, yeah, I took 4 tires under the last caution, which everyone pitted on. So the second to last one. And I think that really helped with my momentum and not sliding the front end and just keeping speed through the corners. and we made the move on Paul, and it worked out. And then, unfortunately, the incident behind me happened. Not a great team day for sure, but I'll take it.
Well, not that you really had to worry about points per se. You were 60, I believe 65 ahead of the bubble coming in, but now you have that win that you've been looking for all season. How good does that feel to have, I believe, what, 3 of the 4 cars locked in on wins now, and maybe you can get racing there with another couple more solid runs?
Yeah, that's going to be the focus for sure, is making sure that all 4 cars not only make the chase but are locked in before the cutoff. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those deals, man, where I feel like I've given away more races than I could ever hope to make up, and this is definitely one that I was not counting on. I can't stand restrictor plate racing. Like, it's the worst form of racing as a driver to me. It's fun to watch, but I think it's god awful to be in because nothing's in your control. I gave away, 5 flags on their pit stops. I gave away Pocono because I was dumb and I didn't run my strategy like I needed to. There's been a couple others that I was in position and I screwed up. So it's nice to get one back that you don't count on, just because it works out. But yeah, I mean, let's focusing on getting all 4 Eisentech cars with the win before the chase would be awesome.
Pretty much answered everything I had a question about there, Drew. So
Typical
kind of like what Peter
Canadians.
Short does when he comes in here.
Outstanding journalism, Matt.
CNN's waiting for you.
All right, Drew. Well, outstanding race tonight. Like I said, started 7th, finished 1st. Had a big lead over the bubble. Now you're definitely locked in, running for the championship. You know the deal, brother. Give us those shout-outs.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys. Obviously, you're a fun group to have. Essentially, be part of the family, be a part of the league. Big shout out to Corey, Cold Hard Art, for sponsoring us. He does some awesome stuff. I'm gonna have to pick something up from him before too long. And I gotta say, this race meant a little bit more to me because I had that 69 on the hood of my car. Nicky Hayden was a real big deal to me growing up, and was one of my heroes. And have him on the car today, and then, which I haven't run this scheme in a while, and to be able to bring that to victory lane, it's real special to me. That was a big loss when his deal happened. So rest in peace, Nicky Hayden, man.
All right. Well, solid race tonight, Drew. Congratulations again on the win. Great team effort from you guys tonight. We look forward to seeing you guys on the track next time out.
Appreciate it, guys.
And Trey, you speak of next time out. Well, next time out will be the Dirt Series for here in Three Rider Racing League. They'll be at Williams Grove. I'm assuming in the 410s. Haven't heard any confirmation on that, but I believe that's the direction they were headed. Let's hope so, because it was more eventful last time, we'll say, at Eldora with the 410s.
Sure was.
Before we hit you where we'll be Monday, we've got the results scrolling across the screen where you can see where your favorite driver finished tonight. Mixed bag of results, like Drew kind of talked about. You didn't really, I don't think your fantasy picks would have necessarily laid out that top 5 for you, but you never know. But transitioning to where we'll be next Monday for the Cold Hard Art Cup Series, will be in Kentucky, boys. That's always a fun 1.5 miles. Nice, flat, bumpy 1.5 miles. Gonna probably put on a pretty good show.
Yeah,
Without a doubt.
I'm excited for that one.
If I'm not mistaken, the next time we'll be on air should be Wednesday for Phillip
Yes.
Island for Scars. So get your battle scars ready as we go down under, mate.
Yep.
And I won't do any more of those.
Yeah, so if you're a Peter Short fan, Eric Mickey fan, or if you're a fan of OCR TV, you can join us Wednesday, Phillips Island in the Ferrari Fixed League. Peter Short's starting to make his name there. So very exciting race. I will not be there. I'll be in New Orleans.
Nice.
I'll be in New Orleans eating my fill of oysters, and I can't wait. But it should be fun. I know Thomas, Matt, you guys will be racing. So
pacing.
Yeah, we'll see about racing.
It should be fun.
Well, until then, Trey, tell them what they can do.
See ya!